Right then, evening all.
Evening all.
I can see already there's so many people in the comments, so thank you so much for joining us. It's the first live for a few weeks, isn't it? We've missed doing them because we do enjoy having our chats with you. So, but we didn't have on our cruise last week. The Wi-Fi just wasn't good enough. It was good for posting and stuff and uploading videos, but for streaming, it just wouldn't have worked.
It was poor.
Well,
it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It wasn't actually. So I'm going to be critical. It was very good, but it wasn't good enough. And
it's a different ball game for
you
streaming,
don't
isn't
end
it?
up looking like a numpty, do you?
Well, exactly.
You got if I'm gonna freeze, you got to do the same. That's no good. It was too late now. The moment's gone.
So let's have a look who's here. And please, if you've got any questions about our Holland America cruise on Amsterdam, then please pop them in the comments. Or if you've got any questions for us, actually, whether it's cruise related or not, travel related, whatever it is, please do let us know.
And do let us know, do I look better with or without my beard?
Well, we had our members live last night, and I said to them, I said, oh my God, it's starting to look like, well, someone said you could get a job as Santa. So he's just had a lovely shave. Look, he's all looking baby-faced again. Right. So, and then we'll be telling you, not only that, we're only home for a very short time, and we're cruising again next week, and we'll be talking about that shortly. So first in the house today was Kevin. So always love to see Kevin. And he quite rightly says, please start with a question, because then we can actually find the questions through all the comments. Because of what we love about this community is that everyone chats to each other, but it's quite difficult to see where they are. He also says, if you do enjoy our lives, then please do give us a thumbs up, because any interaction is very helpful for helping to grow our channel. So appreciate that.
It is indeed.
So yeah, lots of people giving us a shout out. Nick saying, don't forget our website. Yeah, thanks, Nick. That's great. Great info and an online shop. Exactly that. So nice to meet Nick and Tracy here. So let's have a look. Kevin B is here. He's just sent me a picture of a pint of Guinness. Yo, sipping on a pint, but I've got my earbud, so I have to catch a replay. My best to all. Oh, don't blame you. Have another one. So cheers, Kevin. Kevin said he'll be watching, but he can't lip read.
Well, let's not let him talk like this.
Yeah, we go like that then, so you can't see. Right, so first question here. Question, since the inception of your channel, did you think you would be spending so much time cruising? Are there any downsides to being away so often?
Yes, there is. You get incredibly fat.
Yes, we're working on making healthier options, aren't we?
We are.
That has been a problem because we cruise so much, we don't have the space between that we used to sort of lose those pounds. So we need to be very mindful of that. I think we knew that we would cruise a lot. I didn't think that we would go so crazy after I thought I knew I would go a bit crazy after I retired, but we have cruised a lot. But I don't regret any of them at all, do you? So we are slowing down a little bit. We say we're only home for 7 days, but then we are home there's nothing planned for the rest of the year. So, but I'm sure there will be by the time of the year.
Of course there will.
Yes. So, but downsides to being away so often. We caught up with family and some friends on Tuesday, and I missed that. So, yeah, there are downsides. They were away a lot that we don't see so much of them, but hopefully over the next few months we will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, Rose is here. She just finished packing for Iona. Fabulous. That's exciting. And Gillian's here saying she's looking forward to the live. Not long back from our Saga cruise to Norway. Great as always. Yeah, Saga Norway. That's a great combination.
We love Saga, and while we were away, we saw the old Saga Sapphire, which is now called Blue Sapphire, I believe.
Yeah.
And the Saga Sapphire, we didn't cruise on the Saga Sapphire, but we did do it. It was one of our first ever ship visits.
It was.
And there was only me and Carole.
And
we thought, well, this is how it's going to be from now on then. You get invited to a ship visit, you go on, there's just two of us.
Yes.
And then we got invited to a Princess one, and we turned up, and there was about 75 bloggers there, and we thinking, look, what's going on?
Yeah.
I don't know if I like this.
It was funny, actually, because I put in our Discord group or on Patreon, wasn't it, Saga Blue Sapphire was there. It was Dan, our travel agent, said, oh, that's the old Saga Sapphire. As soon as he said that, I thought, oh my gosh, it is. It's owned by a Turkish company now. We were in actually when we were in Rhodes town. We were on obviously Oosterdam. Morella Discovery was in town, and Saga Sapphire was in town. So we've been on all three. So that was pretty cool. So Di's just saying, thank you for such a brilliant channel. Brand new to cruising. First one is November. Second one is next June. Well, enjoy.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the first one. If you've already booked the second one,
I'm sure once you, well, like you, once you start,
Yeah,
innit? Once you
just
start, you
can't
can't
stop.
stop. Nick's asking if you were to book a Christmas break, 7 to 10 nights, where would you recommend and with whom?
Ooh. Do you want winter sun or do you want Christmassy Christmas?
Yes, that's something to think about. Do you want a cold cruise or a warm cruise? One of our favourite memories of it wasn't actually over Christmas, but it was in December, was Queen Elizabeth. We did a 10-night cruise down to Spain, didn't we? We were back by, I think, the 16th, 17th of December. And it was lovely because we weren't away for Christmas. We were home with family, but the ship looked beautiful.
Yeah.
And a Cunard ship. All decked out. It's pretty
like 27 Christmas
35.
Oh, 35
we came to
Christmas
35
trees.
Christmas trees. So that would definitely recommend if they've got cruises going in December. That was just a fantastic cruise, wasn't it? We did Azamara around Australia over Christmas and going somewhere hot. It didn't, and the ship was, to be fair to Azamara, they did have some great Christmas decorations, but it was hard because you were so used to having a cold Christmas. It was a bit weird, wasn't it? And I got a little bit homesick. But there's so many companies out there. The one thing that we would like to try, or I particularly would like to try, is a Christmas markets river cruise. So that's something to think about at Christmas as well. If you want to go and see all the German markets.
If you want a big German sausage,
yes,
and a massive pint of lager, then a Christmas market cruise is for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because let's face it, it'll be all the same everywhere you go. Same stalls,
everywhere's
same different day. But you know, bands playing Christmas songs.
But lovely to see all those towns and cities all
totally,
for Christmas, wouldn't it be? So that's lovely. Let's have a look. So everyone said hello to each other. Morris is here saying looking forward to hearing about PNC's cruise, and Jim and Dwayne are saying I needed my PNC fix. Laugh out loud.
Well, here we are.
Yeah, and Morris, they're looking forward to hearing PNC cruise.
Yes, evening, Morris.
So Morris is asking with a question. With a name like Holland America, does the company have any Dutch links?
It does indeed.
It was originally a Dutch company which was founded, I think, in the 1800s, wasn't it? And then it was bought out by Carnival. So they still celebrate that its heritage by having an orange night on board, where everyone, as it says, if you're cruising with Holland America, make sure you pack something orange, because there is always an orange night where they have it's just have a big party, whether it be on the pool deck, depending on the climate, or in one of the venues around the ship.
But what they would do as well in the buffet and the main dining room is they will have some traditional Dutch dishes with a bit of a twist on them to sort of make them a bit more anglicized. Is that the word?
Yeah.
And they also bring round little treats. When you go to the parties, you're minding your own business, and they keep bringing you food
on little spoons.
So yeah, and it is great. It's a really, really good night.
And if you forget something orange, don't worry, because in their shops they normally have some orange accessories. One couple were very ingenious, and there was orange napkins in the dining room, and they used them and made them into scarves, didn't they? So it's
something that's really, really easy to do without going overboard, no pun intended, whether it be a hat or, like you said, a tie or, anything. Carole, she had done a bit of a faux pas. Now, I'm not going to say that she bought her wrong knickers. Oh, I just did, didn't I? She had a pair of trousers to wear, but she didn't bring the knickers to go with the pair of trousers because the trousers were a little bit...
Well, my trousers were white.
Yeah.
And I had an orange top, but I forgot to pack my white knickers.
And all she had was her Bridget Jones one, so she couldn't.
Oh dear. So that was a bit of a nightmare. But
you had a dress.
But I had a dress that had just a flecks of orange flowers in, so I put that on. So anything goes. And some people just don't
do it at all.
Don't do it, but most people do, don't they? To be fair. So and there's also pictures of the royal family around the ship, isn't there?
Well, the royal family is there. Obviously, the Dutch football team play in orange, but the color orange is associated with the Dutch royal family.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat, Nick and Tracy. Pre-group cruise drinks for you both.
It's very pre-group, isn't
it? It is. Thank you
I
so
can't
much.
imagine we're going to be able to save that until then.
Oh, lovely. So, let's see. Mike's evening from Munich. Oh, nice.
You've never been to Munich, have you?
No, we haven't. And Joe saying evening or 2 nights together. Lucky us. Yes, we had our members live tonight, which was always good fun. Last night.
Yes.
What did I say?
Tonight.
Yeah. No, tonight we're on this live.
Yes, we are.
So lots of saying Ted's here, Elaine's here. So lovely, lovely people. Cruise and Gaze and Striker Maguire. Tommy Gunn's here. Oh, and you see Tommy Gunn. Tommy Gunn's our nephew's lovely.
Evening, Tom.
So that's lovely to see you all. And Craig is saying, even though it seems like we just see all of you yesterday, it's something else. And Paul's decided to have a shave. He has. Ta-da!
I've got a sore face now because I left it too long.
So
go on, say you told me so.
Yeah, told you so. So Joe's saying, he was saying on our live last night that he's booked a Fred Osborne mystery cruise. We have 6 ports in 11 nights, so we're pleased. The excursions are written to intrigue and confuse us, but we love that. Oh, so you have to put that on Discord, Joe, and see if we can figure out which ports it is. So, yeah, that seems like a real good fun. I fancy doing that, but you really don't, do you? No. But I do. JBM's Travel's asking, what is the one thing you would both change about your last trip? I could have quite happily made it 14 nights, not 7, because the itinerary was excellent and so busy because it was all places we wanted to explore. I didn't feel like we had enough time we had 1 sea day, and I would love to have had more sea days because that was just lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think because it was busy, and we did probably more excursions than we normally would. Normally we do like a bit of a self-explore, but we did 4 excursions out of the 7 days, and then bearing in mind one of them was a sea day, so we did 4 excursions out of the 6 days, which is very, very unusual. Normally over that period of time we would do 2, 3 worse ways, wouldn't we? We wouldn't normally do 4.
But it was all places that we really wanted to explore.
Go to. But my only thing, which is a Holland America thing, is the theatre. Is the theatre not having proper theatre shows? Other than that, I couldn't fault it. I couldn't fault the food, the rest of the entertainment, the live music was great. Really, really like the ship. I really like the outside areas. It's got a proper wraparound promenade.
Yeah, it's beautiful ship.
It's quickly becoming one of our favourite cruise lines.
It is. Paul's got a valid point with the theatre entertainment.
Yeah, what's the time? 12 minutes in. Paul's got a valid point. It only took me 4 minutes on the members live.
If you really like the West End type shows that a lot of cruise lines do, Holland America don't do that. They do more dance shows, which are good and nice, but they don't sort of excite us as much as the other shows that we've seen. They do a lot of classical shows as well in the theatre, and they had some guest entertainers there. We had a very excellent tenor, so their focus is very much on live music, but without that in the theatres. But around the ship, they have on Oosterdam. I keep saying Oosterdam. It's Oosterdam. Then they had a rolling road. Yeah.
That's something to do with I had my race car on there. It was 86 brake.
Rolling Stone Lounge, where some of the newer Holland America ships have Rolling Stone Rock Room. And what basically it's been called a Rolling Stone Lounge now because it combines sort of the BB Kings plus the rock, doesn't it? With the fabulous 7-piece band that were on the ship. 2 fantastic vocalists, and they did every night, bar one night, they did 3 shows of all different genres, didn't they? And they were superb.
Different show every night. But I just think if they had a couple, so every 7-day cruise, if they had a couple of banging shows like you get on virtually every cruise line, like Morella do it really well, P&O do it well, even Cunard, apart from that rubbish we went to see, which you liked, they usually put some good song and dance shows on. Brief Encounter. It wasn't brief enough though. But all cruise lines do it, and Holland America does. But obviously they're not going to change because of
and that's what I like about Holland America.
Yeah.
This is what and they do a lot of not insight talks. They're called oh, what are they called? I should have a program handy. You know, the enrichment talks. They do a lot of educational talks as well, like Cunard. So that's really good too. And they do lots of arts and crafts, if that's your thing too. So yeah, but they're a fantastic cruise line. It was our third Holland America cruise, and it definitely isn't going to be a last. So it was absolutely fantastic. So let's have a look. Life of the Parks on their way to Southampton. Lots of people heading down to
Southampton.
Catherine's saying, even all blooming traffic. So I don't know if where Catherine's heading. Rose say you look younger without the beard.
Oh, thank you, Rose. You're very kind. Do I look, what, early 40s now?
I think that's pushing it. Karen said, good evening all. Busy ironing, ready for packing for our VV cruise on Saturday. So Virgin. So have a fabulous time. Paul and Louise saying, are you feeling the cold now you're back? Yes, we are.
We'll say yes, we are, but Carol's currently got a fan on.
Well,
and my right arm is frozen. The rest of me is all right. If you want to keep it on, mate, if you're hot, it's not a problem.
Like
you are hot.
Well, no, I'm all right now.
You've got a shine to you. I can see that. Yeah.
So, yes, we got home to some lovely rain, and it's been a bit mixed since we've been back, hasn't it? But the temperature's definitely dropped. So let me come back to that question there. So Fiona's, well, we can actually say what we're doing, because Fiona's saying here, I'm currently on Celebrity Eclipse now, and we'll leave as you get on. Is there anything you'd like to know? Well, as Fiona says, and this hasn't been a secret, so we've been letting everyone know that we've been doing this cruise. It's Gary's group cruise. So Gary Benbridge's Tips for Travellers. He's a great guy and someone that's been our inspiration for us starting our channel. And we're joining him, and I think it's 68 other people for a cruise. I've got some pop-ups. I'll come back to you, Fiona. We'll come back to you.
We haven't had a pop-up for ages.
So yes, so this is Gary's group cruise. Oh, I'm gonna have to get Fiona off. I will come back though, Fiona, back to oh, where's Fiona gone? There she is. So if I do that, so come back to there. Remember that point, Paulie?
Yes, Fiona.
So this is Gary Benbridge's Ships Travel Celebrity Group Cruise, and we're on there for, I believe it was 11 nights, isn't it? 10 or 11 nights, where we're going to this itinerary, which is we start off in Boston, we go to Portland, Halifax, Sydney, Charlottetown, overnight in Quebec, which is going to be absolutely fantastic, because they're all ports that we've never been to. Absolutely all of them are new, aren't they?
They are, and I was just looking at how.
Do you know where you're going now, Paulie?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I would have forgot by the time you get on there.
And what the lovely thing is we were actually on the Celebrity Eclipse going back to, I checked this morning, it was our fourth cruise with our dads, and it was May the 3rd, 2011, and we were on there for 4 days. So that's 13 years ago. Yeah. And I did manage to find, because we weren't blogging then, so weren't taking lots of photos, but I did manage to find this lovely one of our two dads on the balcony when we were in Cove. Oh, that lush. Yeah. And then one with me and my dad, which is I love that photo. Look, oh, no grey there, look.
No, you're like an old badger now, man.
I know. And I found this one of Paul, actually, which is a story where he stood outside the Celebrity Eclipse when we started doing our Instagram. But look how big your shoes look. It looks like you've got clogs on. But anyway, so yes, so that's our next trip, which we're very excited about. There's also about 10 of our patrons going on that we obviously are really looking forward to meeting and spending time with. So that's really cool. So where was Fiona? See, it's popped again.
Well, scroll up. Stop.
Where is it?
You went too fast. Go down a bit. There.
There she is, Fiona. Yeah. So I'm on now, and we'll leave as soon as you go. Is there anything you'd like to know? How's the martini bar? Is that good at? Do they still do all the juggling and stuff?
Is there a martini bar?
Well, I think there is a martini bar on Celebrity Eclipse.
Have they got any Thatcher's Gold cider?
Yeah, I doubt it. And what have the shows been like? Have you had some really good shows? And on Chic Night, because we know Celebrity have Chic Nights, we found on Celebrity Beyond that people sort of dressed up smart casual. They didn't really go for it. Are people really dressing up on, do we need to take well, you're not going to take your tuxedo, are you? But do we need to take your jacket? And are people wearing ties? So that would be really helpful, Fiona, if you can let us know. And I'm sure the other guys that are going will want to know that too. David Webb's here. Hello, one and all. Sorry, 4 minutes late.
Wow.
Tardy.
That's quite impressive.
Saturday, 40 nights on Ventura to Canaries, Lisbon, and a favourite Cadiz. Lovely. Enjoy. Our friends Mark and Marie have just got off Ventura, and they enjoyed it a lot, though they weren't enamoured with the food. But apart from that,
They said there was lots of positives, but the only negative was average food, they said.
Nick is asking if anyone's done the tuk-tuk or duck tour in Lisbon. We haven't. But I know Ken and Lindsay goes cruising. They're in Lisbon today, aren't they? Because they went back to the restaurant that we went to when we were there on the Queen Anne. Craig saying, Dave H told me the PNC group trip in May is the day after our TA trip, and some of you may be in town. I'll put a shout out nearer the time so you're about to meet for a pre-cruise tipple. Yes, because we're planning to do a meet-up the night before. So just message us on, we'll chat to you about that, Craig, on Discord. But yes, definitely. Be lovely to meet you in real life.
Yes. We're going to need a big pub that night, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm going to need a very big pub. So Catherine booked Majestic Princess for spring through Dan again. Very helpful as usual. He is.
He's not a bad
He's
lad.
The man. If you're wondering who Dan is, and if you're new to watching this live, he's our travel agent. Just check out the details below. We definitely recommend him. He's absolutely awesome. So Barbara's here. So obviously Barbara, just bid the lowest amount on Queen Anne balcony cabin from midship inside, £240. Do you think it's likely I'll be lucky sailing in 6 weeks' time with my 14-year-old grandson? You never know, Barbara.
It's all down to how busy the ship's going to be.
Yeah.
If it gets to the point where that cabin's still available, they'd rather take you 240 quid than not, than give it away for nothing. So you never can tell.
You can't. So
we've never bid on a cabin.
We've never
ever bid on a cabin. So let us know how you get on, Barbara, because I'd be interested. But it's like with I know Virgin Atlantic do it with your upgrades, and you can upgrade to whatever. And there was one, and it was an absolute bargain, and we didn't do it, and we regret not doing it. But it was so cheap to upgrade to. I think it was upper class, wasn't it? But it was really cheap. But we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't. We should have.
We were silly billies.
JBM saying, learned a lot from you two. That's helped me with my channel. You're very welcome. That's nice to hear. So thank you so much for your super chat. Kath Brown says, hi, Kath. Hi, Kath. Hello, Kath.
Hi, Kath.
Hi all. How do you compare your recent trip on Holland America compared to your Alaska trip? Was the entertainment good? Hopefully we've touched on that.
But just to reiterate, I love the entertainment on Holland America apart from the World Stage, which is their theatre. And it's a lovely theatre as well. It's a really, really nice 2-story theatre, and it's all in place. And the seats are tiered nicely so you can have a good view from virtually anywhere in there. But they don't put stuff on there that's to my taste.
No.
But other areas of the ship, there's fantastic entertainment.
But Koningsdam, because we were on the trip to Alaska on Koningsdam, is a different class of ship. And on the Pinnacle ships with Holland America, you do get the 3 venues. You get the
3 live music venues.
Yeah, you get the Rolling Stone Rock Room, you get BB King's, and you get the Billboard on board, which is the 2 piano players that sing and take requests and stuff. And the Megan and Gabe that were on our cruise on Amsterdam were absolutely fantastic. So that is the difference from the class of ships. So when you are considering a Holland America cruise and you do want just pure rock, then it is the Pinnacle classes that you need to book. However, if you like a mixture of music, then the other class is the Vista class. And
when she says pure rock, we're not talking like Ace of Spades by it's a sort of a soft rock. There'd be some Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin.
Well, I couldn't get you out of there, Paul.
I know, because it was so good.
It was. So so how do you compare? Apart from that, obviously the itinerary is totally different. It was just but same. What we've found that is totally consistent with Holland America is service. Service is absolutely fantastic.
Kath's not asking that.
She's saying, how do you compare your recent trip on Holland America?
Was the entertainment good?
Well, yes, it was.
Yes,
but the service was superb. Yes. And food was excellent.
What was the entertainment like?
And the only other thing, no, is you on the newer ships, you get the Dutch cafe, which you don't get on the older ships. So that's another thing that you need to be aware of. Julie Nee, hi there. Hey guys, how does Holland America compare with Princess for drinks, prices, and excursions? For that, we had to have it all, which is a comparable to Princess Plus, isn't it?
Yes, I will say that it seems to be across the board. All cruise lines, excursions seem to be getting dearer and dearer and dearer. And I love Holland America, but they are very, very expensive for excursions. When we did Alaska, and obviously this time, they are, ones that are just sort of like, we did some bus tours that were about 3 hours. They were like $60-$70, which I thought was pretty good value for money. But some of them are very, very expensive. But like Carole said, Princess ones, we've looked at the ones for Garris Group Cruise, and some of the prices are bonkers. Yeah. So it's just most companies at the excursions. It makes me laugh. You'll see,
but it depends where you go. Sorry, it's like when we went to Alaska. There's lots of things you can do on your own. Alaska's not one of those places that you can do that easily. No. You can, but it gets very booked up. So we made sure that we had all ours booked prior to getting on board. So, but certainly.
I forgot what I was going to say next. You interrupted me.
Sorry. Adam's asking, what's your favourite cruise? That's such a difficult question, Adam, because we've been on so many. This is our 56th cruise we've just been on, and there's so many things. One, might be about just destination. One might be about the food.
Yes.
And there's so many that have been absolutely great experiences. So, but thank you for loving our videos. Barbara said, I'm on Arcadia, 19th to 20th December, visiting for 2 days to Oslo, Copenhagen, Amsterdam, and Zeebrugge. Can't wait to see all the Christmas markets, especially Tivoli Gardens. Yeah, we're looking to go to Tivoli Gardens on our group cruise in May. So I'm sure, and it'd be a lovely around about that time, because it'd be all lovely and Christmassy. Carole's asking, what was our favourite port this time?
Our favourite port this time, and I don't even need to discuss this with Carole, is one of our favourite ports of all time, which is Rhodes Town.
Yeah.
Because we love Rhodes Town. We've been there many times on land holidays and a good few times on cruises. And it's just your dock right outside the walls of the old town.
Yeah.
And we just love the place. And we were so, don't you put your hand up if you're going to interrupt, and I'll still ignore you.
Oh.
And in a twist of irony, we did a little bus trip where we went all the way around the island, went to a pottery place, which was fascinating, went to St. Paul's Bay in Lindos, and went to Faliraki, and then we ended up back in the Rhodes Old Town. And our guide said, we haven't had any rain for 5 months, and we're really, really starting to get worried. And you could see dry riverbeds as we were driving around. Over the last 3 days, I have never seen so much on social media about the torrential rain in Rhodes. It's like running down the streets of the old town. So we were, it's great that they got the rain that they need because they grow a lot of olives and that sort of stuff, because they got some industry there which relies on it. But it was also great for us because we missed it by about a week. So yeah,
we had fabulous weather throughout, but I totally agree with Paul. Going to Rhodes again was just because, and whenever we go to Rhodes or to Greece, the first thing, well, not the first thing, but what we always like to go out for something to eat. We always have a Greek salad and lamb chops, because what they do with the lamb chops over there is just amazing, and they were fantastic, weren't they? I liked going back to Malta because we were overnight in Valletta, and I hadn't been to Malta since I was a kid on a family holiday. So we did a tour of the island and also explored Valletta, and that was lovely being back there. So yeah,
well,
but Rhodes was definitely. I did leave my shoes.
She left her shoes there
many years
in
ago.
About 1980 something, and we went back. We couldn't find them.
No, exactly. So yeah. Clinton Tate saying, good to catch you live, just heading through Minnesota, heading back to Saskatchewan, Canada. Well, thank you for catching us. Nick saying, Tommy Gunn, is that a reference to a Jim Carrey film, The Mask?
No. His name's Tommy. He's our oldest nephew, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's my He's my big brother's oldest little boy.
Yeah.
And his name's Tommy, and we've called him Tommy Gun for as long as I can
Yeah.
remember. I think calling him Tommy Gun predates the film The Mask, actually. So
yeah, I'm sure it does. And in Carla said, even though just join you briefly, is about to go to the main diner, and we'll catch on the rest later.
oh,
Yes, Andy and Carla just got on Princess Ship in Southampton. Oh, David said he's got photographic evidence of my wife reaching out for my big sausage at Christmas market.
Oh, I'd love to see that, Dave. I'd love to see that.
And Richard saying commiserations for this Sunday's Tottenham defeat.
I think, in all fairness, Arsenal got so many injuries, I might get a game for him.
Yes. Good evening from Blackpool. It's rather cold on. Bring some sunshine. It is, isn't it, Mandy? It's really the temperature's definitely dropped, and the nights are drawing in, and that's always depressing, isn't it? Because it'll be, as soon as we finish our live after just 8, it'll be dark outside, which is a shame. So Garth's just asking what will be our next cruise. So hopefully you've answered that, Garth. And Life in the Park saying, how late are the bars, entertainment, or how?
Not late enough. What I will say is the last shows, it's quite weird on Hal, because it's, you know, when you're on if you're anywhere, if you're in town or you're in a club or whatever, and things seems to dwindle away slowly and start to thin out. On Hal, it's busy, and then there's nobody. And they'll do the shows usually up until about 11:30, maybe 11:45, depending. The one we were just on, you've got Billboard On Board and Rolling Stone Lounge. They do 3 shows each, but they're staggered. And I know that most nights, the last shows are usually 10:30, maybe 10:45. But then there was the one night where everything was sort of all a little bit tiny bit later. But certainly between 11:30 and 12 o'clock, everything's
They do
done.
have a disco on there till it's about sort of 12:30 latest. But you can get a drink at the casino bar, and
but not late. That's not open all
1:30 latest. Yeah. So if you're someone that likes to party till the early hours, then Holland America aren't that line. That everything's shut down around about sort of midnight, 1 o'clock. So Di just saying about the refrigerator. Yeah, there's big discussions going on about fridges being removed from Morella cabins. So I think it's potluck at the moment, and it doesn't seem. I've been looking on the internet to see if there's any answers why it's been happening, but it doesn't seem to be any answers. So it'll be interesting to see if you have one or not. I understand if you have to have a refrigerator for medical needs, then obviously if you let the company know, then that should be fine. But other than that, it does seem a bit of a mystery.
I don't understand that.
Jill and Sandra are saying, what's the food like on Hal?
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Right across the board from we didn't do speciality this time. They only got 2 speciality restaurants on Amsterdam, which is an Italian and a steakhouse.
They did have a pop-up seafood
one. Oh, they had a pop-up seafood one in one of those restaurants. But
yeah, in the Pinnacle.
But we have done those in the past, and they were both really good. But the buffet is fabulous, and
great selection.
The main dining room is fabulous.
They've got an Asian section in the buffet, and we loved that. Super. Also had fantastic meals in the main dining room and fantastic service, didn't we?
That's what I just said.
I know, but I'm just reiterating.
You're just reading that and not listening to me, like you always do.
Also, Paul really liked the dive-in burgers.
Burger bar was very, very good, I have to say. Now, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say about the burgers. The burgers were good. It wasn't the best burger I've had, but they were good. But the chips, I'm going to go out on a limb now. I think that the dive-in burger bar on Holland America do the best chips at sea. And that's official. That's not one of them. That is the best. And they do normal chips. They do loaded. They do stuff with cheese on, and they do one which is like a chili sauce on it.
Yeah.
And they were all fabulous.
Yeah. Nick said, "Oh, badger laugh out loud, Paul is being brown."
And the dive-in, by the way, for any more American people, is the hot dogs they serve is Nathan's Hot Dogs, which is one of the most famous hot dog companies
in Coney Island,
in the US of A.
Yeah, exactly. Fiona said, "Martini bar, fab, no juggling so far. Oh, tonight is the first big show. It's also the first shooting. I'll let you know. Yes, do keep us.
Yeah, keep us abreast of the situation.
So, a life of the parts of Apex didn't have Thatcher's Gold. Oh,
I wasn't very hopeful because when we did Beyond, we went to above the Martini bar. There was like a sports pubby bar-y type thing, and there was a girl in there who was running the show, and she was very, very knowledgeable. To be fair, it wasn't one of those ones that she didn't know anything about the beers or whatever, which we've been to plenty of them where the barman, bar lady is like, oh, I don't know, but she really knew her stuff. And the only cider they had, I believe, was Angry Orchard.
Yes,
which was okay, but it wasn't Thatcher's Gold.
No. So, Cruising Gay is saying, have a fantastic time. Don't forget to get your tax-free clothes shopping in Boston. Clothing is generally free from sales tax, up to $175 per item. Shopping, Paulie.
Oh, I'll tell you something. I love it. All I want now is Nick BBT to start talking about kitchens and my night to be complete.
Life of Lucy and Glynn are going on an Asian cruise next week, so have a fab time.
Oh, lucky.
And Kevin is just sharing, obviously, if you're interested in booking holiday with Dan, we've got his details on our website too, because he's just looked after us for how many years now? Gosh, quite a few.
Well, seems like about 400, but it can be because he's only 28.
A Life in the Parks is saying, Discovery Tour, would you just say of refurb in November? I'm hoping the fridges stay. Yeah. Let us know, because it is a bone of contention with a lot of people at the moment. Morris said he did the duck tour in Lisbon a few years ago. It's a really good way of seeing Lisbon from the land and the water. We've talked about doing those duck tours, haven't we? But we've never done one, have we?
No.
Because they do them all over the place, don't they? Well, as long as there's some water, obviously.
There it is, folks. Carol Morgan Slater is stating the obvious.
So Michael Dunn saying, question please, have you been on NCL cruise? We're on the Pearl this month. Any advice, please? We haven't done an NCL cruise, but we want to. We nearly did.
We nearly did. It was the first cruise we had cancelled. It's on our list. It's on our list. There's a lot still on our list, but it's got to be at the right time and it's got to be for the right money.
Yeah.
And if that all falls into place, I mean, who knows? I'm not going to say anything.
We've heard just lots of mixed things about NCL. We want to find out for ourselves.
We already feel like we might have come to NCL too late because they said there's a lot of penny pinching going on, don't they?
There seems to be, but with lots of apparently entertainment's very, very good, isn't it? That's what we've been told. Di's asking, where did you pick up the cruise line to go to Alaska? We got on in Vancouver in Canada.
And Brian Adams wasn't even there, was he?
Well, he might have been. We just didn't see him.
I did see him, no.
Travelers, my husband would love those music venues. Must get him on now. Yeah, I'm sure he would. I'm sure he would. They do live music so well, Holland America, don't they? Absolutely excellent.
And I know I didn't. Well, no, I haven't said this tonight. I said it on the members live. They did 3 shows a night. Over 6 nights. They didn't do one. They had a day off the one night, which I thought, it's a bit lazy, wasn't it, really, having a day off? So they did 18 shows, and we must have saw at least 10 of them, and they never repeated a single song.
No.
So at 10 shows. So that's 45 minutes of show.
And the talent, we were very excited because we recognised the bass player walking on the pool deck when we got on the ship from our Coningsdam, and we knew that band had been phenomenal on there in the rock room. So we thought, let's see, and we thought it might be a more rock based, but it wasn't. But she was a fantastic bass player, wasn't she, Shannon? They were all excellent. They all brought something to the table.
There was no. You looked at it. There was
no weak link
there was no weak link at all. They had 2 guitars, keyboard, 2 singers, bass player, drummer, and there wasn't a single weak link.
No, not at all.
In the entire band.
Right, so let's see. Jill and Sandra saying you would not get my Gil. I always say Gil and Sandra saying you would not get my husband at the Rolling Stone Rock Room. No, exactly. That was my problem on Coningsdam. Well, we were traveling with the Cruise and Canucks, and obviously Mark and Marie, wasn't it? So the 6 of us would always get front row seats. But I would often pop off and do some other things as well. Frank and Jen have joined us, so love to see you guys.
Evening all.
Life of Lucy England's asking, have you ever done Royal Caribbean?
Yes, we have. We've done a lot of Royal Caribbean. We've done 8, maybe 9 Royal Caribbean.
But not for a long time. All before lockdown, weren't they? We did quite a few.
No.
Oh no, we've done one since then.
Well, it was only for your birthday and your
We've
retirement.
done Anthem of the Seas.
Yeah.
But prior to that, we've done Mariner of the Seas. Our first ever cruise was Navigator of the Seas. We've done quite a few on Independence of the Seas. And we've done one on Explorer of the Seas.
We did 5 on Independence, haven't we?
We did with the dads. Yeah. Fabulous memories. So I just asked about the fridge thing. If you've got issues about fridge, if you need medication, then you need to sort it out.
Speak to them and they'll
Speak to them and they will sort that out. David's at Web saying pre-book your tickets for Tivoli. Okay, thanks. Good tip there.
I don't know if Dan's in the house tonight.
I haven't seen him yet. Life of the Park saying morale seems to be exceptional when it comes to excursion prices. Still very reasonable. Yeah. It's so that's good to hear. Let's see. See, Kath's asking. Thanks, Carol. Yes, thank you for sharing more. And I did want to know the comparison, not just entertainment. See?
Right, this is
so
me.
I'm going to go back to the Dutch Cafe.
This is me, Kath, crossing you off my Christmas card list.
So I'm going to go back to some of the other differences that I noticed. Was the Dutch Cafe is a big thing because people often say, "Oh my God, is the Dutch Cafe?" Because the Dutch Cafe is famous on Holland America and it is fabulous. Where you obviously get all the Dutch sort of treats and the green pea soup and all things like that, which are absolutely fabulous. You will get some Dutch stuff on the other classes of ships that don't have the Dutch Cafe, but you'll get it on Orange Night, like Paul explained in the dining room.
The Dutch Cafe, for the uninitiated, is a sort of like the
International Cafe.
The International Cafe on Princess. Yeah. So what I will say is the Dutch Cafe is better than the International Cafe on Princess. But the International Cafe on Princess is open 24 hours a day. But you get, I think, a better quality of stuff in the Dutch Cafe because its opening hours are more limited. Well, so I think they got more time. So
it's still open a long time.
It's open a long time.
Comparing it with Corinthia Lounge on Cunard as well.
Yeah.
Because that's, you know, if you like your coffees and your cakes and all your treats like that, it's a great place to be. So so I'm glad we elaborated on different things, Pauline.
Well, I'm over the moon for you, mate.
The other difference that we didn't have was obviously the specialty restaurant with Rudy's. That wasn't on Oosterdam, but they did have that pop-up night in the Pinnacle. And also the theatre setup is very different. The theatre setup on Oosterdam is a traditional stage. On Koningsdam, it's a big round stage, isn't it?
I didn't like the theatre.
You didn't like the theatre on Koningsdam. No. You preferred the old school, didn't you? So there are some differences, but still, like I said, the service throughout the ship, staff were exceptional. We had, and I want to give a shout out for our 2 cabin stewards, whose names were Wahoo and Pony. We laughed so much with them.
I can't do my joke again tonight.
No, you can't. No. So we had exceptional service. Della, who looked after us because we were obviously guests of Holland America, was fantastic, and the waiters and so many people were looked after us brilliantly, didn't they?
Yes, they did, didn't they?
Yes.
And move on.
Frank and Jen saying, we're looking at hotels in Southampton, but lots of choices. Uber available in Southampton. Yes, it is. And taxis are very easy to get.
Yeah.
Taxis are very easy to get as well. But Uber is available throughout the UK, isn't it? That wherever we've been.
Well, it's not.
Well, wherever we've been.
We've
used it in London.
Is it in Gloucester?
No. No, it's not actually. But it is in effect.
Everywhere in the UK, apart from where we live.
It does.
It's not. It depends on the size of the place.
I've used Uber in Gloucester. When you were away racing, I went out. But what Uber in Gloucester does is it diverts to a local taxi company. So you can use Uber and it diverts to in Gloucester.
She's just making it up.
So
yeah, whatever.
Whatevs.
Yeah.
Right. Gillian says she's late because she's guiding furniture covered in gold. Gilding.
I think she might mean gilding.
Yes, because gilding is covering stuff in. Sally writes in, is there one place you've been to that you've loved the most? And how many times have you visited?
Well,
we just talked about roads.
We just talked about roads.
Greece.
We love that.
We love Greece.
We've been,
before we started cruising, we did lots and lots of land-based holiday, and Greece was one of our favourite places to go to. So yeah, Greece. We've loved Croatia as well. We've had some great times in Croatia. some fantastic holidays there. We love
We're dithering now. Come on,
well,
move
New
on.
York. New York. I would go back to New York tomorrow, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Tim Meakin said, Christopher, when did you realise you'd married Dawn French? I get that often a lot, don't I, Paul?
You get that often a lot.
I do. I get that mentioned a lot about Dawn French. I don't mind because I love Dawn French. She's a bit mad, but that suits me fine. Di's asking, if you get off on the boat on Discovery 2, can you buy soft drinks at the resort and bring them back on board in small cans? Soft drinks normally aren't a problem. They can confiscate alcohol, but some check, some don't. So it depends, doesn't it? Some are very strict about bringing alcohol back on, and they'll take it off you, but they'll keep it for you and give it you back before you get off. But some companies just don't check. So Life in the Park saying, do they have a late night buffet snacks on Hal? They do. It's from 10:30 till 11:30, so it's not really late. Dinner is closes about 9, doesn't it?
It's weird because the main dining rooms close at 9.
Yeah.
The buffet closes at 8.
Yeah.
And then they do an hour of snacks from 10:30 to 11:30. But I have to say, it's a very good choice.
Yeah. So, it was a very good choice. We went there once, didn't we? Yeah. And I've got some Love Nathan's. Yeah, they are great hot dogs.
I went there once for the buffet to get some cookies to go with a cup of tea to take back to the cabin. And I ended up having a whole pepperoni pizza. Yes.
So we're from the Shires here. Hola, Paul and Carole. Hope you're both well. We are. Thank you very much. Di says, caught up with all the vlogs in 3 days. Your explanation of the cruise are amazing.
Oh,
thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Nick said, a friend of mine's in the building trade can sort out kitchen if required.
Cheers, Nick.
Life with Lucy Green saying NCL are amazing. Antonio's on NCL Viva in 5 weeks. We'll let you know if any good. Yeah, please do feedback. So, Di saying about going to the Caribbean. When's the right time to the Caribbean? Wintertime's always a good time to go to the Caribbean, isn't it? September can be a little bit dicey because they can get obviously hurricanes, but apart from that, you can cruise the Caribbean all year round. Let's have a look. So Tracy's saying, even I've just been watching for a while, but I don't really post. But here feeling a bit pants with dreaded COVID, joys of working in a primary school. Anyway, thank you for always making me smile.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Victoria's saying, based in the US, would you suggest a Caribbean cruise or an Alaskan cruise? Both. Both have they both offer something different. If you love the beach life and love sunshine, then obviously Caribbean will tick all those boxes. If you love wildlife and scenery, then Alaska's your cruise, isn't it? Because that's just such a diverse.
And also, it depends where you live in the US of the easiness of either of those two cruises.
Yeah, true. Julie Neeson, what nationalities or age range were on your Hal cruise? Is it geared towards adults more? It is. There were some families on there, but not a huge amount. Not a huge amount.
But obviously, we don't know because we haven't got, well, my son's nearly 30, so he doesn't go to school anymore. But when you haven't got kids or you haven't got kids of school age, you tend not to know when term times are, especially outside the UK. So we don't know whether that cruise we've just been on was that in school holidays, out of school holidays, and of course that has, so that has a bearing on what kids are going to be on there. But
they do have kids clubs on Holland America, but it is geared for more the older clients. A lot of people our age, wasn't there? A lot of people our age. And there were some older couples, but there was a lot when you think about everyone dancing and stuff. There was a lot of people probably younger than us actually.
Our age, sort of late 30s.
Yeah, so between 40 and 60, there was a lot of people that age, weren't there? Yeah. So and older. Simon's going on the Cruise Monkeys cruise tomorrow. We wanted to do that, but obviously he'd already booked Gary's. So because we want to get on Britannia, and he must be on Britannia. We've not done Britannia, but I'm sure you'll have a fabulous time. Natalie Green said, "Oh my God, you're in the country." We are briefly.
Sorry,
it is. Tracy's just saying, I almost lost my hubby 8 years and we love to travel and cruise. I've been fortunate to travel, but would love to cruise more if I can. But school holidays and solo prices make it difficult. Any tips? Get yourself a good travel agent. Speak to Dan and he can actually have a look at exactly what's out there for you, because they can do the hard work of looking at pricing, because there are some bargains to be had for solo cruises out there. They are difficult to come by, but there are some to be had. So that would be nice. Lucian Glynn saying Sweden doesn't have an Uber. No, I think places around the world have things like Bolt, don't they? They're just named different names.
And Thailand, which Will from the Shire says there's one in Thailand that used to be called Navigo.
That's right.
So there's a lot of sort of it's not Uber, but there's a lot of similar type.
Yeah. Tony's saying stay unbearded, Paulie. Yes. Lizzie Lou said, don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, please do give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed our lives.
I got no clue what she's talking about, honestly.
Aoife's here. So let's see. Aoife, I must go back and watch from the beginning to see what I missed there. Please do. Like, these lives are always available on our channel to watch at any time. So if you do miss them, then that you can catch up. And you can catch up from the ones we started, which I don't know how many we've done now. We've done about 80,
We've done about 1,000, I think. No, I just say stuff now and again, because as soon as Carole starts reading the questions, I can usually get away with saying anything. So I could see she started reading, so I thought I'll just test the water with saying we'd done 1,000, but she obviously wasn't concentrating. You can see, if you look at her eyes when she's reading, it's like literally, you could go like that, nothing at all.
So Lee Bentley's just saying, which other vloggers were on your last cruise with you?
None at all.
No, not on our last cruise. No. On Aurora, if you go and watch our Aurora series, we got 3 episodes of that. We were cruising with some vloggers then.
Yeah, it'd be easier to say what vloggers weren't on that cruise. But on the one we've just come off, on the Amsterdam, I'm not aware of any other vloggers being on that cruise. Well, not that we knew.
Not at the same time as us, but no. Cruising with Amber was on before
Amber
us.
Was on the week before.
Yeah, so, which was a shame. It'd be nice to have cruised with her. Aoife's saying, is Holland America starting to be one of your favourite cruise line?
It is,
right?
We
really like it. So it's still has the elements of traditional cruising. It has what we like. We love that outside space. The aft space was amazing. One night we just found this little table with 2 chairs right at the aft of the ship and just sat there quietly and had a drink and watched the sun go down.
What they do, I try, is if I don't say it straight away, because I'm at that age now, I just forget it. And it's going along with what Carole's saying. What they do, which so many cruise lines don't do, which is really, really annoying, is when they've got lovely outside space where there's a bar, they shut the bar about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But on Holland America, they've got an aft pool, which is not, you don't go out there and it's got the big wow factor. It's just a big open deck with a pool in the middle. There's lots of tables and chairs, and in the day there's sunbeds. But there's nothing out there that makes you think, it's spectacular in any way, shape, or form. But it's just a nice place to be when the weather's nice, day or night. But they got a bar, and you could go out there at 10 o'clock at night and that bar still be open. Whereas we were on, what was we on? Was it Queen Anne?
Yeah.
We were on Queen Anne in Lisbon. It's like 5:30 in the afternoon. It's a beautiful day. We're waiting for sail away, and they close the bar.
Yeah,
it's like WTF is what I thought.
Yeah, no, I love on Amsterdam. You've got the traditional promenade, which is one of my favorite places to be, and you've got the proper steamer chairs where you can just sit there and sit in the shade and have a doze, read your book, because you don't get those often, steamer chairs on. So it's got a lot of the elements of the old traditional.
It's a little tiny bit Cunard-y.
It is, but a little bit more.
But yeah,
not so Cunard.
But it's like a Cunard hybrid.
It is. So let's have a look. Dave said that NCL wasn't our thing. Maybe booking cruise on premium was a mistake. They do like to dollar and dime. Yeah, we've heard that. Have you ever stayed at the Hilton Utilita Bowl? No, but we've heard about it. Managed to get a deal for the night before our cruise on Iona in November. It's about 5 to 6 miles from the cruise ports.
We always, when we cruise out of Southampton, we always book the night before, because we genuinely like going out in Southampton.
Yeah.
So having something that's 5 or 6 miles from the cruise port seems a sort of a bit daft for us. Whereas if you
we're often meeting with friends.
Yeah, and we're often meeting with friends. And
if we were going on our own, then that would suit, would it?
Well, no, we'd still like to go out in Southampton on our own. We've gone out loads of times. But yeah, so
because there's quite a few that are just on the periphery of Southampton that are obviously a lot cheaper than staying in Southampton, so they are a good choice. And a lot of hotels will offer the a free taxi service too. So Tim's asking, question, we're on Sky Princess in November. How much of a step up is it from P&O?
Well, and this is the thing. To say P&O is too general, because going on one ship on P&O won't be like going on another ship on P&O. And we've had experiences of going on different ships, and the service and quality of food and entertainment will be nothing like what you'll get on another P&O ship. So that's a really difficult question to answer. But I would still say that across the board, Princess is a step up from P&O, definitely.
Yeah. I think from the beauty of the ships, from the wow factor of walking on a ship. When you walk on a Princess ship for the first time that's got the piazza, that is a wow moment, isn't it? Because it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't walk on a P&O ship and really go, man, I did on Aurora. I thought, because it was such an old ship, when I walked and seen that atrium there, I was like, oh, well, this is good. But it didn't give me that, oh my God, wow type.
But
whereas you get that on Princess.
You go on Iona, and I don't think there's anything on Iona where you just said, well, oh my God, this is amazing.
But it's very interesting too about Iona and Arvia, because we've got friends, and Google Claire's on there at the moment, and lots of people are really loving Arvia and saying it's a very different feel than Iona. And you'd think Iona and Arvia would give you exactly the same experience because they're the same class of ship in the same company, but even they give you a different experience. So every company is different, and every ship normally within that company offers these different things. So But
what I will say is all the Princess cruises we've done, they've seemed to be sort of like a steady eddy of they're all I totally agree. But we've done mostly the same class of ship, haven't we? When you think about it. So Trace saying, thanks. Is Dan's details on your site? Yes, if you go to our website and just go to the booking page, you'll find all his details there, and you can actually fill in a form on there that I think Kevin, if you scroll back up, Kevin shared the link earlier on in the comments. So, and you can contact him there. If you have any difficulty, just send us an email, or if you're on any social media, or just put a comment in this underneath and we can share. That's what I'll do. I'll share the details afterwards. Let me write a note to share that. Share in description. Oh, I can just, in that moment of quietness, I can hear it lashing down the rain outside.
Yeah, it is. Right, so Nixon, did you Google who's in the bag? We did have a look at it.
We're still nonetheless.
Well, it is a bit charadey, isn't it? I think. Life in the Parks is saying the closing outdoor bars early is a huge bugbear of mine. Yeah, it's when you've got a lovely day, isn't it? Oh, listen to it now. Yeah. Pouring. So when you've got a lovely sunset, or just you're sat there just enjoying drinking the water, and it was so lovely cruising, because we cruise a lot from the UK, cruising somewhere where it's warm, where you can enjoy that outside.
Why wouldn't you want to sit out there? And it just, I don't know, I don't get it.
So Susan R said, right then, have you considered doing a group Alaska cruise in Holland America? We haven't, because we thought a group cruise doing that to Alaska would be it's a big expense.
It's a bit pricey.
Yeah, so it would be a lot to expect. But it would be a very good option.
Yeah.
And Holland America would be a good option for a group cruise, definitely. So Life in the Parks it's very interesting, isn't it? Lots of people are pro NCL, not in favour.
But they're saying the NCL free at sea, so I'm assuming that's like
they're making it all inclusive, So Tim said we've been on Ventura, Azura, and Arvia. So you're Britannia, then that'll be your fifth P&O. And Tony's saying Love Sky Princess, definitely step up. Yeah, for those that don't know, we've got our group cruise next May on Sky Princess. We've been on Sky Princess twice and love that ship, don't we? Well, we love that class of ship because, like you say, you get the lovely piazza, and it's a beautiful, beautiful ship. So if you do want to cruise with us and 196 other people, then do go to our website, and all the details are there.
The dance details are there.
Oh, and Kevin's put down details there. So yes, so if you just search that, then you'll find it. You will.
I know.
Why are you laughing?
That's what's funny.
So,
So if you
Tracy,
do search that,
yes,
you'll find it.
So if you've got any other questions for us, it's nearly the hour's up, isn't it, Paulie? So we're happy to answer any more if there's any more for any more. But we're really excited about our cruise next week. It'll be, I went to Boston going back when I worked on cruise ships. So that's going back to the early 1990s. I spent some time in Boston. I haven't been back since. And being back in Canada, because prior to our Alaska cruise, we had a most fantastic time. We flew into Calgary and we went to Banff and Jasper and did the Rocky Mountaineer, and that's got very special memories. And we met the lovely Kevin there too.
We did.
So yeah, so we're really, really excited about that. Fiona Alder, when will you be announcing your 2002 group cruise details to non-patron members? We're working on some ideas of doing another group cruise in 2026, but nothing in stone as yet, is it?
No.
The Patreon cruise is just for patrons. So that's a separate cruise that we're doing in April on Queen Victoria. So if you want to join that cruise, then you need to be part of our Patreon community. But we are planning to do a general group cruise in 2026. But we haven't decided which cruise yet, have we?
No.
So Julie's saying that she... Britannia's my favourite P&O ship out of the 5 I've been on. Best Broders at sea for quizzes. Broders is good for quizzes, isn't it? Yeah. P&O do lots of things really well. We've had some great experiences on there, haven't we?
I think doing Aurora, even though it was only a little short one, has sort of renewed our thirst, because we did Oceania, and then they scrapped it.
Yeah, before lockdown.
And then we've done Iona twice, and the second time we did Iona, when it was at capacity, I got to be honest, it was a bit meh, and it was like, would we be rushing back on there? I don't know.
We had a good time, though,
yeah,
Paul.
but it was still...
You got this real negative thing about Iona, but actually, when we were on board, we enjoyed it. There were things that we felt could have gone better.
Yes, but it was still...
You're quite right about Aurora.
But when we went on Aurora, it was such a pleasant surprise of how nice the ship was, apart from the toilets and the service and the food and the entertainment. It sort of made us fall back in love a little bit with P&O.
Yeah.
Whereas Iona, it was sort of a bit like...
Yeah, I know. It was a little bit bland.
I think was the word. Yeah.
So, but I want to get on Azura, and I want to get on Britannia.
I mean, we've had far worse cruises than we did on Iona. Tons and tons of worse cruises. But with so much good stuff out there, bland is not the word I'm looking for. You know, when you get the P&O advert on the telly, go on Iona, it's bland. You know, that's not going to sell a cruise. And that's what I felt. When I think about cruises I've done, even, you know, going back to like when we haven't been on Independence of the Seas for probably 10, 12 years. But what I can tell you is it was never bland.
But that's coming back to the UK.
Yeah. So, you know, you have these things and you think, well, why would I go back? I know that P&O is probably one of the best value cruise lines out there. And it was interesting because I was reading something, and I can't remember where I was reading it, but somebody said, I think P&O should really know their role, as The Rock used to say, and they need to start pitching themselves as a budget cruise line. Because unfortunately, when you go on like Iona and what have you, it's not upper whatever. It is a budget cruise line. And I think if they started doing that, when people go on there, their expectations wouldn't be as high, and then they would probably get less complaints. Because I think as a budget cruise line, they do a very good job.
They do, and the entertainment's fantastic. So David's saying, will Paul be busy on Sunday commenting on the football? Yes, he will. And Kevin shared our Patreon link, so thank you for that, Kevin. So that's in the comments for everyone there. And Tim's asking, who's the most famous person or group you've seen perform on a cruise? We saw Gary Barlow.
Oh, after my Iona thing.
We've seen, who have we seen?
We saw the man.
Jules Holland.
Oh, we saw Jules Holland.
On Saga, which was absolutely phenomenal.
And he had performing with him Ruby Turner.
Mm,
And Ruby Turner is in Carole's most favourite film, Love Actually.
she is.
And we didn't realise, and we'd watched it about 75 times before we realised that Ruby Turner, when they do the school play thing, and Liam Neeson's little boy is playing the drums, well, the woman that's singing is Ruby Turner, and they also had Pauline Black out of Selector. And of course, you forgot as well, we saw Boy's Life.
Oh, Boy's Life on Morella Voyager, we did.
And we met them as well, and they were lovely, weren't they?
We've seen, who's the operatic? Russell Watson.
So Russell Watson.
I've seen quite a few. Who else?
Who else have we seen? Oh, we saw
Angela Rippon.
So Angela Rippon, Claire Balding.
Yes, on Cunard.
And what was his name? Who won Opportunity Knocks 12 times?
Oh, he was brilliant. Not the one with the ostrich. Bernie Flint.
Bernie Flint.
Yes, he was. It's funny, wasn't he?
He was a lovely. We had a beer with him after. He was a lovely.
We did,
man.
Yeah. So, Aoife's saying about solo cruises, we can't really answer that question, Aoife, because we don't cruise solo. But Dan would be able to advise on that. Strange how opinions differ. We hear so much negative about P&O and loads moving to Saga. So there is some unrest at the moment. But you
without
can still
a shadow of a doubt, Saga will knock P&O into a tin hat. That's a strange British saying.
But you'll pay for it. You'll pay 3 or 4 times
all
the
about
price.
The money. When you with Saga, it's a lot more expensive. But you don't need to spend another penny. They pick you up from your door. Your insurance is included. There's loads and loads. All your specialities included. Your beers included. Everything's included. With P&O, that's not the case. But it's apples and oranges, to be honest. It's not. You couldn't even put P&O and Saga in the same breath, to be honest.
And also, Jay Smith just saying, we loved Iona. Far superior to Anthem of the Seas. We wouldn't rush back to Royal Caribbean. We had diamonds to travel them a lot. So it is. And everyone's taste is different. And people say, oh, I went on this ship. You went on. You loved it. I didn't. It's like, well, that's because your tastes are different, aren't they? It is your taste, your expectations. So, but there's a cruise ship out there for everyone because there's so many. So you'll if you do your research right, you'll find it. David's web saying they've seen Mick Miller. And Jay Smith saying that they've seen Jill Scott on Virgin Voyage. She was on holiday, but was so kind to have selfies with all the Brits. Let's see. So, yeah, I think we've come to the end of our comments, and it's gone over the hour, hasn't it, now? So I just want to say, should we finish off there, Paulie?
Should we finish off with a big thumbs up?
Will we get fireworks? Yes! So thanks ever so much for everyone watching. It's a pleasure as always to chat to you. So we're not sure when we're going to be live next because we're obviously on a cruise. It depends on signal and where we are. So, but if you're not subscribed to our channel, then please make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel and hit that bell, the notifications, because then if we do schedule a live, you'll be notified of that straight away.
And don't forget, we got our video out tomorrow, which is
we're starting on our Fred Olsen cabins. So the next couple of weeks, we've got a lot of cabins coming your way while we're away on Celebrity. And then, and then we'll be bringing you after Fred Olsen. We're bringing you Raw Clipper. So, yes. So there we are. So thanks so much, guys. And we will chat with you very soon.
Start waving too early, champagne.